What up, Naughty Steppers? It's Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel. And it is time for another discussion-based opinion piece style video, following on from others in recent weeks where I've asked you whether you think it's okay to skip the introduction when listening to a song for the first time, and following that, whether you thought there was too much dubstep out there at the moment that sounds the same, both of which I will link at points in this video and in the end screen / outro. And today's question is in keeping with dubstep music, or the dubstep scene generally, and what I want to know from you guys is whether you think headbang culture is ruining dubstep. Headbang culture, the term that has developed out of particular songs that have established a way of being, encouraging and prizing headbanging over all else in our appreciation of dubstep music. With this as the driving force of said appreciation, it has led to the emphasis being on this aspect more than anything else. For example, what does it matter how the music is made? As long as I can headbang to it, as long as it has headbang appeal, then it's fine. Or, you know, so what if I'm at a show and I've split my lip or broken my nose? I did it as a headbanger, a true, proper, genuine lover and appreciator of this music. And what I'm asking is whether you guys think this is a problem or not for dubstep in general. As per, gonna go over some points both for and against the motion in question, and then pass that question off to you guys, because ultimately that's what this is all about, the conversation and the sharing of opinions. What I've loved so far is hearing all these different points of view from you guys that I really, hadn't even thought of at all, even remotely. So every opinion, view and thought that you have, drop them in the comments section down below. And the first point that I want to raise in favour of the motion that headbang culture is ruining dubstep is that I think we've grown into a situation where it seemingly doesn't matter how the music actually sounds or how it's put together. I alluded to this earlier, but I know there are a lot of people out there that think, as long as you can headbang to it, it works. This has led to a lot of artists making music that solely goes off live. Music that gets the people going and, well, headbanging. Music that isn't actually that stimulating by way of ideas or musicality or prowess or skill as a producer. And there is lots of music like this out there, and I mean lots and lots. And I'm talking about huge artists here, You can probably actually guess who I'm talking about. A trend that's allowed people to make very one-dimensional music that has that soul thing going for it, the sheer repetition and force of it. A lot of this music also using only one note for the most part. And people just repeat that formula and it keeps going on in its flat, weak, uninspiring ways. So yes, in that respect, I think it is ruining the genre because there's way less ingenuity in the musical creation as a result of having that intention with the live headbang, oh, will it sound good when I play it out to thousands of people sort of appeal. The second point that I want to make in favour of the motion that headbang culture is ruining dubstep is that it actually influences attitudes to other kinds of dubstep lovers. I've seen a fair bit of this on social media, people, mostly artists and producers actually, getting at other festival or concert goers for not actually going hard enough. Headbang culture has become so ingrained in dubstep and gone so over the top in a way that producers are literally saying, if you don't want to get fucked up at my shows, then don't come. And that, in all honesty, makes them feel unwelcome. I've actually been on the receiving end of this and I felt a little bit uncomfortable. Someone saying to me, someone that I kind of look up to as I really admire them as an artist, saying, well, if you're not willing to do that, then you're not really welcome at my show. And whilst it may be tongue-in-cheek and not something to take too seriously, if they're saying that, there must be at least some sort of truth in it. And by saying these things, they're still advocating what they're saying and pushing that ideal forward in some sort of way. So there's always going to be that little inkling of truth in what they're saying, which, as I mentioned, has led to people, including myself, feeling like they can't just be there and enjoy the music peacefully, because going crazy to the point of hurting yourself is now seen as the norm and accepted thing to do. Almost as if to say, you know, if you don't do this, then you're not a proper dubstep fan. But now moving on to some points I have against the motion that headbang culture is ruining dubstep. And the first thing that I want to say here is that to many, dubstep is still thriving far beyond headbang culture. We may have the headbang culture there in itself, but we also have many other ways of appreciating dubstep that have just as much of a say today and have so for many, many years. And on this basis, with other kinds of dubstep appreciator enjoying the dubstep just as much as headbangers, surely we should just let the headbangers do what they want. I mean, that would seem just about fair. In saying this, I think my point is that there are not only many kinds of dubstep music out there other than headbang kind of stuff, but also many other ways of appreciating it. It's not as if people get thrown out of shows for dancing to it in a different way. Headbangers are just doing their own thing, much in the same way that I would be doing my own thing if I was just chilling in the back of the show and appreciating it however I wanted to. And for those wondering, when it comes to being in a live environment at a dubstep show, I am much more of a neck bopper than a headbanger. The second point that I want to raise against the motion that headbang culture is ruining dubstep is that I think headbanging and headbang culture generally has actually brought a lot of people together. Different groups and a whole new way of identifying with people in dubstep music, and surely the more people appreciating and enjoying this style of music, the better. This I find to be such a vital thing, especially seeing as dubstep isn't a style of music or genre that is liked by the majority of people in the context of the world population, you know, far from it. Having those ways of identifying with people are essential in everyone enjoying it generally. This is how we all express ourselves. You know, we see one person doing something and then another person doing something and we want to join in. And if a lot of people are headbanging, then people around them are going to feel inclined to do the same. It's through other people that we are expressing ourselves and loving this music to our utmost capability, if you will. It would be quite the lonely experience being the only person that liked something or the only person that appreciated something in a particular way. And when it comes to what dubstep is thriving on at the moment, then it is that headbang vibe. You know, people coming together to enjoy it in this way, and that's where the joy is had. And, you know, in all honesty, who could really begrudge them of that? But overall, and in rounding up my thoughts here, I think I would have to say that I am somewhere in the middle of this matter. I do definitely think that there is a lot of dubstep music catering solely to headbang culture and making it as headbang worthy as possible, if you will. Something that has definitely resulted in said music, which is made predominantly for those live shows, being very uninspiring and lacking in any sort of guile or technicality or skill. The kind of things that were much more present years ago and have very much waned over that stretch of time. On the other hand, I must say I do really like what it's done and is doing for the scene in bringing people together. I'm not someone to outright dismiss types of fan based solely on how they are, you know, whether they be headbangers or wooks or whatever. And honestly, I love that people can identify with others when it comes to enjoying music. And who is anyone to begrudge someone of how to act during a show, you know? It's just unfortunate how a lot of the music panders to the simplicity of that. There are other things I can appreciate about headbang culture that I've mentioned already, as well as those things it's impacted for the worse that I've also talked about. But those 2 points I just mentioned are the main ones for me, that on the one hand it is ruining dubstep in terms of the music itself, whilst on the other hand it is bringing people together, both extremely important aspects of the scene, and that's why I am very much in the middle and will find it difficult to budge or side with one side of this motion entirely. But as always, I would love to know what you guys think about this. Is headbang culture ruining dubstep for you? If so, why? If not, why not? Let me know all of your thoughts, views, and opinions in the comments section down below. As with before, this type of video is in its early stages of being done, so any format tips you have, feel free to send them my way. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're yet to, social media accounts in the description box down below, past opinion pieces and discussion based videos will be in the end screen or outro, and lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure as always to keep it naughty and stay safe, and I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.